Hey, welcome Cyclone Fanatics, back here, proud to be at Wilson Toyota here in beautiful Ames, Iowa. I'm joined as always by Tron Smith. It is Talking with Tron time here at CycloneFanatic.com.
Oh man, we love it. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that I'm back, man. I enjoy having these segments, man. You know what, Chris? I just want to say, Fanatics, Chris comes in here and he's all dressed, and I know he's very uncomfortable, but today, this guy is sporting the Cyclone Fanatic polo, and I tell you, Chris, this thing is sweet, man.
Yeah, it is, and it breathes.
Oh, man.
It breathes. This is the exclusive CycloneFanatic.com polo that you'll see on our CycloneFanatic.com store here in a couple of weeks.
Plug.
How's that for a plug?
That's great. Well, thinking of plugs, here we are again, Wilson Toyota, 2212 South Duff Avenue. It's a great time to be looking at Toyotas or anything right now. A lot of 0% and things going on.
Well, my wife and I, we walked through the lot the other night. We're on a walk, because we live right by here. And she just fell in love with the Toyota Camry.
Oh, man, you know what?
The black ones, she loves them.
I got a lot of them, so just let her, just drop her off one day, we'll take care of her. That's the easiest thing to do. You know what, Camry, #1 car sold in the country. There's a lot going on in Toyota land. You guys stop down, say hi to me, see what we're doing. Let's talk Cyclone, let's talk Hawkeye if you choose.
Yeah, and speaking of that, last time I was in here, you should have seen Tron just giving it to this Hawk fan.
Oh, it's
Tron wouldn't back down. He's like, man, Clone's going to win by 25 this year. Just in this guy's face.
Oh, man,
do you still feel that way? Because I'm noticing a little bit of the waters are getting kind of rough over there in Hawkeye land, and they're slinging some mud toward the Cyclones.
I think it's great. All that blase hoobla habla that they talk about. It's not an important game. We don't get up for that game. You know what? Tell that to someone else. This here in Cyclone land, we know the real deal. They're looking down here wondering who's going to be running, who's going to be throwing, and who's going to be winning. But we all know who that's going to be.
Running, throwing. The Clones are going to throw it all over the field this year.
How do they look, buddy? I know you've been out at the practices.
Yeah.
Do they look good?
Well, I just got to go to the one open practice, but I've had my old conversations underneath the rug type of stuff. You know what? I've heard a couple things. One, I've heard that the young wide receivers, I'm talking about the Albert Garys, Chris Youngs, I've heard that they've been very impressive thus far. I'm not saying they're going to jump in and start over Darius Starks. I'm not saying that, but I've heard they've been very impressive. Two, I hear that our boy Chantrell Johnson, I heard that, and I looked and I watched the stuff on Cyclones.com.
Is it real? That's what everybody wants to know.
You know what?
Chris Williams, you know what? If Chris says it, it's the real deal. Is it real?
I'm not going to come out here because I don't have first-hand information. I'm not going to come out here today and put pressure on the kid or the coaching staff to play him right away. But I've heard good things, and all you have to do is watch the videos at Cyclones.com. The young man is not missing anything. He is a solid back. I'll be shocked. And I know other people out there are wanting him to redshirt because of all the backs. I'll be shocked if he redshirts. Now, that's just my opinion. Paul Rhodes did not tell me that, just my opinion. But some guys you can't keep off the field.
I tell you one thing that's great, and I tell you, I enjoy being on Cyclone Fanatics and being able to watch the things that Chris does because he does great work. I did catch the interview that you done with Chantrell.
Yeah.
One thing I like, the kid's young, but just listen to him the way he interviews. The kid's got respect. He knows what he wants. He's going after it. You know what? That's the kind of go-getters we need.
He looks you in the eyes.
Yeah.
You don't see that very often. Another thing that, the closer we get to kickoff, the more sure I am of the three linebackers that are in place.
Are they?
They're hogs out there. They're beasts.
That's good.
And I think they're going to be a lot more athletic than last year. I think they're going to make a couple dumb mistakes that are going to be glaringly obvious to everyone early on in the year. But the closer we get, I actually think as a whole, as a group, they might be better than last year's group that included Jesse Smith.
I tell you this, I talked to a lot of Cyclone fans. I was actually out dinner with my wife and kids, and I had a guy sitting next to me, just a great guy, and we got to talking about this, and I told him, it just dawned on me at that point. Everybody's saying how bad our defense is. Have you seen our defense?
No, I
haven't seen our defense.
And that's the thing. Hey, let's look at the defensive line, okay? The young man, McDonough, coming into the lineup. Has anybody really seen him in action?
I haven't seen him.
Now you're telling Nate Frere, a guy we all like. Nate, great guy, great Cyclone. He went through a lot during his time at Iowa State. No disrespect to him, but did he really set the world on fire last year at that nose guard spot? So you're telling me that these guys can't step in and I think they're going to be just as good. Who knows they can't be better? Why isn't anybody talking about that?
Well, this is the thing that you got to realize, and I can say this because I got a 10-year-old kid. Let me tell you something about men or boys or whatever you want to call it. You know what? They like pain. One thing you got to remember, these young linebackers, if they can't do anything, if they can't walk, if they can't talk, one thing they'll be able to do is hit somebody. That's what it's all about. Go right up in the face, smack them in the face. That's how you do it, right?
You smack them in the face.
Like.
That's all you got to do. And Bob Elliott, one of the wisest men I've met in a long time. He made a great comment on Monday night when I interviewed him. Mm-hmm. Somebody asked, "Is the secondary going to be the cornerstone of your defense, something like that?" And Elliott goes, "It's got to be your guys up front." Yeah. You know what I mean? Who cares? Enough with the excuses. Put the pressure on those guys. It's up to them.
You know what? We all got to look at it, Cyclone fanatics, from this standpoint. You know what? It's no secret. We didn't get a lot of pressure last year, so it can't get any worse, can it, Chris?
No. It can't not get worse.
You know what? I'll tell you this. Mr. Parker's got a job to do. I think he'll do it. I'm not worried about those corners. I think in the inside, we haven't seen any of these guys play. We don't know what they're going to do. I'm not worried. The more and more, the closer we get, I'm telling you, Chris, I just want to go outside and just tackle somebody right now.
Well, let's make sure it's not me.
Oh, okay.
Let's make sure
Especially
it's not
in that nice shirt.
Hey, exactly. You'll be able to get on the CycloneFanatic.com store later on this coming, not this week, but probably next
week.
Hey, we need to get some Wilson Toyota shirts on there.
We will.
You think people buy those? I think they'll be all over them. They'll sell like crazy.
I got something else to invite you to, buddy, and I want to do it here right first on Cyclone Fanatics. For all you fanatics that don't know, here at Wilson Toyota, we do gridiron picks every year where every week we come in and we have special pickers. You know what, buddy? I'm inviting you. I want you in for week 2. You're going to be our guest picker, and all you guys out there that follow gridiron picks know that every year you try to beat me and it never happens.
I'll beat you.
It sounds like a challenge.
I'll even issue out a challenge for you right now.
You know what? You guys know how confident he is. We're not talking about arm wrestling.
Challenge for you. Last year we did it. Was very popular at Cyclone Fanatic. We had different media members and experts from around the area pick a slate of games, Big 12 games, and also some other key games around the nation.
Okay.
You pick the score. I'm asking you to represent Wilson Toyota this year and go head-to-head with the experts. I'm talking former Cyclones, media members. You in?
Of course, man, you're talking to me, Chris.
All right, Tron's in.
You know what? I don't back down from anything, okay? When I say something, I mean it. If I say I think we're the best school in Iowa, sorry.
The only school in
past
Iowa.
That. Oh, sorry, I forgot
only
about that.
school in Iowa.
Who was that guy? No, don't start that.
Yeah, and then my email gets flooded by Hawk fans. So you're in.
I'm in, buddy.
Brett Meyer last year, former Cyclone quarterback, he picked Iowa State to win every single game. Are you going to be like that? Are you going to be a realistic picker? Or are you going to be that guy who just throws stuff against the wall?
You know what? I think I'm going to be a realistic picker. I tell you why. You know what? And I'm going to be quick because I know we got to get out of here. The more and more I look at the schedule, Chris, I know in the beginning we were like, man, can we get 500? Buddy, I see 500 all day long.
I do too.
I mean, I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Can't wait for it to get here. We're getting within like 20 days or so, man. It is coming. Stop by Wilson Toyota, buy a Camry. They got a lot of good used vehicles. They have everything you need right here at Wilson Toyota. Where are you at again, Tron?
2212 South Duff Avenue, Ames, Iowa. Right, you know what? Come in on Highway 30, turn south, and boom, right there. You know what? Just call me.
Yeah, and even if you're going to stop by, I live right by here, send me a PM. And I'll meet you out in the parking lot, and I'll personally introduce you to Tron Smith.
You got it.
All right, that's a deal. Stop by Wilson Toyota, talking with Tron. We're going to be back here, I'm sure, before the kickoff. And the pigskin pick'em with Tron here and the gang at Wilson Toyota. We're also going to have ours at Cyclone Fanatic. Looking forward to it.
You got it.
All right, take care, Fanatics.